Hello, Lorain County basketball fans. Welcome back to another episode of In the Paint, brought to you by First Federal Savings of Lorain. I'm your host, Rocco Nuosci, and as always, a big shout out to Kristen Bauer behind the camera. Well, tournament time is finally upon us. How exciting. We've had some girls' sectional battles already. The guys get started sometime next week, so we'll really be talking about the girls this week. But before we get into the tournament talk, let's start with who's hot right now in Lorain County, and we'll start with the boys' side of the equation. And let's go to LaGrange and talk about the Keystone Wildcats because, wow, they've had an absolute meat grinder of a tail end to their regular season, but they've gotten through it. So they end January with a really tough loss to Amherst. It was a tough one for the Wildcats there, but they follow that up with a comeback win in overtime over Oberlin at the top of the conference. They get past a sneaky good Clearview team as the Clippers gave the Wildcats everything they could handle in that one. And then they follow that up with a 43-38 win over Columbia this past Friday night. So 3 huge victories for the Wildcats, 3 in a row for Coach Holzhauer's bunch. They are playing fantastic ball right now. It's kind of a two-headed monster approach. Christian Paddocky and Connor Rodick, those two continue to dominate, and Paddocky is just somebody that Coach Holzhauer cannot talk enough about. We've talked with him on the wrap-up show on Saturday a couple of times, and he's just a guy that continues to bring his all every night out there on the floor, carries his team, wills his team to some of these comeback efforts that we've seen from Keystone so far this year. So they're kind of a name to watch out for as we approach guys tournament time. Over in the SWC, I'm taking a look at North Ridgeville. They're winners in 3 of their last 4. We talked with Coach Chase on the wrap-up show this past Saturday. They're over 500 at 10-9 on the season. And I know earlier on in the year, that was a big goal for Coach Chase, getting over that 500 mark and kind of going from there. Well, it's pretty late in the season, but they've done it at 10-9 now. Again, winners in 3 of their last 4. Jake Boynar, Griffin Toure, and Colin Jones are 3 guys that really have been outstanding for them so far. And for Colin Jones, just a sophomore, he's really a guy that can continue to flourish within that program. So it's a talented North Ridgeville team and certainly another school to keep an eye on right now. And finally in the SWC on the boys side, the Midview Middies. They fell to the Rangers earlier last week but picked up a huge Friday night win over Avon. 59-51 was the final score there. We sound like a broken record talking about this kid sometimes, but Aiden Gregory, my goodness gracious, 33 points, 11 rebounds in that win over Avon. He actually just got his first collegiate offer. He announced it on Twitter earlier this week in the afternoon. It was Lake Erie College that has offered Aiden a scholarship, so congratulations to Aiden. That was awesome news to see on my social media timeline. But I think more importantly in that Friday night win for Midview, a lot of JV players were on the bench and saw action in that game. I know Midview have struggled with injuries as of late. Ryan Runzer is a name that's been a little beat up for them. Michael Hazard has struggled with a couple of bruises and nicks and knacks as well, but they continue to have this awesome next man up mentality, and Coach Brabennick has his middies playing outstanding basketball right now. Quickly on the girls' side, as far as who's playing well in Lorain County right now, before we get into the tournament talk, right back over to LaGrange. I got to give a shout out to Keystone. They knocked off Firelands last week to capture a share of the Lorain County League title. 51-41 was the final. That was a road victory for Keystone, a game which they were kind of just playing with house money, nothing to lose, but they end up getting the win. They hold Firelands to 5 fourth-quarter points, just outstanding defense from the Lady Wildcats in that one, and again, getting a share of that Lorain County League title, the first time for their program. Shout out to Rocky Houston and the Keystone Wildcats, and a shout out to Dave Kudella as well over there at Firelands. His team actually, of course, had an outstanding season as well. Co-champs in the Lorain County League, so shout out to both of those head coaches. For the Wildcats, Delaney Peters, 21 points in that win. Freshman Brooklyn Barber had 16, 2 outstanding ladies getting the job done there against Firelands. So let's take a peek at that tournament trail, and we got a couple of divisions to go through here, so we'll kind of quickly move through things. Starting with Division 1 in the Elyria Catholic District, over to Midview we go. They get a sectional opener win over Cleveland Max S. Hayes, 71-7. They will host 12th-seeded Westlake this Thursday. Mary Mang is a player to keep an eye on. She's the county's leading rebounder, and at 6'4", she really has the ability to take over a ball game almost by herself when the moment calls for it. So keep an eye out on the Lady Middies. Lorain outlasted Elyria in overtime, 53-48. Lorain will travel over to Rocky River to take on Magnificat this Thursday, and Avon Lake jumps all over John Adams, 58-14. A tough one next for the Lady Shore Gals, as they will travel to Medina Highland on Thursday. to take on the second seed there. And finally, again, in this Division I EC district, North Ridgeville rolls past Maple Heights 66-19, and Amherst knocked off Valley Forge 46-16. That sets up a sectional final between North Ridgeville and Amherst this Thursday. North Ridgeville will host. In the Medina district in Division I, 10th-seeded Avon host Hathaway Brown on Thursday. We'll have that one for you on WEOL as Abby Leiber, the county's leading scorer and the all-time leading scorer at Avon, breaking that record this season. In a St. Louis commit, she'll be a name to keep an eye on in that Medina district. In Division II, in the Nordonia district, 12th-seeded Fireland will play host to 17th-seeded Cloverleaf on Wednesday. Elsewhere in Division II, in the Elyria district, Clearview does battle with Lutheran West on Wednesday. And another game on WEOL will be Keystone and Holy Name. The 16th-seeded Wildcats will host Holy Name again Wednesday on WEOL, 7 o'clock tip-off there. Division III, North Ridgeville district, 14th-seeded Wellington travels to Mapleton on Wednesday, and Elyria Catholic will host Rittman on Wednesday as Brookside awaits the winner of that one. Moving right along here, Division III in the Worcester district, Trinity will host Black River on Wednesday. Waynedale plays host to Oberlin on Wednesday as well. And finally, Division IV in the Norwayne district, Open Door awaits the winner of Dalton and Center Christian, and the 4th-seeded Columbia Lady Raiders will await the winner of Andrew Osborne and Hillsdale. Quickly to recap what's coming up this week on WEOL. Sectional matchup Wednesday, girls basketball. Keystone plays host to Holy Name at 7. Sectional final on Thursday as Avon will play host to Hathaway Brown. Friday, Lorain County League title hopes on the line on the men's side, or on the boys' side, I should say, as Oberlin will visit Columbia at 7 o'clock. Nick Abraham's Saturday Sports Wrap-Up Show gets your weekend started 9 to 11 this Saturday morning with Rob Polinsky and Marissa McNeese. And finally, to round out your weekend here, more sectional action on Saturday afternoon as the Columbia Lady Raiders again will play host to either Hillsdale or Andrews Osborne. So there's kind of what's happening around Lorain County right now. Again, the girls tournament in full swing. Should be a lot of fun to see what our local teams are able to do, and of course the guys will get started next week. So once again, big thank you to Kristen Bauer behind the camera. I'm Rocco Nuosci saying thank you for tuning into this week's episode of In the Paint, brought to you by First Federal Savings of Lorain. We'll see you next time.